ground turrets are gone. It is the last bastion, the last hope here for
every ounce of experience he has to be able to win this game.
Definitely. I mean, Benignus is the only player to have a pentakill within the Season 1 Invitational, and it is on this champion Jing, and we're already seeing Pei go over potentially to look and starve that Sage buff from the Jing, but it already seems like that was going to be overshadowed by Alpha 7. There was like, we know that is going to be the play here. VKS Danny is already looking to make that portrayal, but he's already lost a lot of health. So for him to try and get in there and steal that is going to be a hard thing to do. So even Selena right now, thanks to the Dong Huang pick, is quite a sustainable early game hero. But when you're going 3v1 against the Dong Huang, that is a problem, but it allows Jing to get that Sage buff. So could we call that a fair trade rather than that starvation of the Sage buff from Jing on Alpha 7? I think we could.
Well, one Sage buff is not the end-all be-all here for VKS. They can continuously just invade it again and again as long as they keep an eye on the timer, because they just really need to stop it once to be able to have a chain reaction of being able to constantly steal it away from their opponents. So the only downside of that entire engagement was that Danny was not part of the finally part of the kill, which did not give them give him the experience he needs. But Alpha 7 is gonna be the ones playing aggressive and will be stealing the Sage buff away from Danny.
Yeah, whatever you can do, I can do better. Benignus basically saying to Danny there. We saw a great effort from VKS try to steal the Sage buff from Benignus over on A7. But again, the other thing that really upset that whole interaction is the fact that the tempo of Danny's farm was a lot slower thanks to that. He not only took a lot of damage, he had to recall as well, and then that's when his jungle farm started at almost 2-minute mark, which is very slow in Honor of Kings.
Absolutely, and he went for the red Might Golem first before going for the blue buff, which allowed VKS to which allowed Alpha 7 to be able to invade their jungle. So still neck and neck in terms of net worth. I mean, it is still early, 2 minutes in. A lot of the net worth is currently on the side of both the Arlie as well as the Jing on the side of Alpha 7, while on VKS side it's on the Byron and the Zhou Yu. So both different positions have have different leads at the moment. The Byron obviously is going to absolutely dominate the Charlotte in the top lane, but the mid lane is where I'm more surprised, probably because Suits has been rotating so much across the map.
Yeah, and when we got to pick up a hero like the Jing, it means that Charlotte also has to sacrifice being given extra farm as well, because Jing is one of those heroes that is farm hungry, and if you can get that Jing ahead, it really makes a difference of these team fights. And you can kind of already see it makes a difference to Muster as well, because he's really struggling to gain that macro game that he's very well known for on the side of Alpha 7. It's really been a hard matchup, especially in game 1, seeing him very not as aggressive. The only real aggressive play we saw was towards the late game, where he went to the back of the queue to try and take out 3 of VKS, but there was nobody bigging him up from the front of the team fight. So again, really starving Muster of that Byron pick is definitely showing a weakness here on the side of Alpha 7, it seems.
Definitely, it is when you're putting all your eggs in that Jing basket. Obviously, this is not like a single hyper carry comp. They do have the Arlie as well, but when you have 2 heroes, like you said, that are so farm hungry, you need some sacrifices has to be made, and unfortunately, Muster is the one to be drawing the short end of the straws. So he should still be able to find some impact throughout the game as a Charlotte, especially later on when the team fights are more heavy, and he doesn't have to join the team fights as often as well, seeing that Jing will be able to push out most of the damage in the early stages of the game, so he might be able to recover in the mid-game stage.
Yeah, Muster almost being coerced into taking that teleportation mechanic down to the farm lane there, as we saw Pei and Byron both rotate up, and they already have that early game domination on that clash lane. So again, Byron really has that free roam there. So Niap on the side of BKS playing the clash lane a lot better within this pre-4 minutes and going into that post 4 minute mark now. With both Tyrant up, Menginchi taking a lot of damage there on the side of BKS. So again, their tank is pretty damaged there, but there may not be a contest here for that Tyrant. No, they felt like they were there if they were needed, but they just didn't see the potential of stealing the Tyrant from BKS. So BKS picking up the first Tyrant again. 2 games back-to-back right now as Muster tries to get that clash lane pushed to trade a turret here.
300 goal difference on both sides. It's hard to say who has, the lead at the moment. I mean, in terms of towers, sure, one tier 1 in the top, in the clash lane has already fallen. The bottom side, though, the farm lane is heavily going in the favor of Alpha 7, but it is just basically a stalemate at the moment. Almine will be able to finish off that bottom tier 1 tower. So it is still a very neck-and-neck game. BKS will be playing a little bit more reactive, I feel, because they have the Lady Sun, but that is, again, like I said during the draft, when you're playing against a Jing, you're not consistently invading that jungle, you're allowing the Jing to progress towards the mid game, who you can see right now already completed the Axe of Torment and is going to reach his next item very soon. That's going to be a very situation to be in when you are fighting for the mid game. Once the Jing completes the Master Sword, the damage output is going to be insane. Benignus, they're trying to shut him down now. The knockback from the Zhang Fei ultimate is not going to connect. Benignus taking a bit of damage, but popping the ultimate will be able to survive for the moment, and they should not be able to dive in too deep for this tier 1 tower.
I mean, it's still looking like it. They got the minions there, and there's 3 of BKS at that bottom farm lane turret, as well as Niap looking for that aggression onto the Ali in the mid lane. And we see that trade once again going for the clash lane to the farm lane in terms of turrets. We've already seen it on the side of Alpha 7, losing the clash lane, but picking up the farm lane. And we're seeing again that push for that second tier turret in the farm lane from BKS. This is almost a copy and paste strategy of the first game. The only factor that hasn't quite fallen yet is that mid lane turret, which I feel they need to make a lot more effort of making sure it stays alive. Currently, we're seeing a pickup here for Almine getting the kill onto Menginchi. So that is 2 kills to Alpha 7 over to Alpha 7, sorry, but they are going to lose potentially the second tier turret again. So Niap, thanks to the fantastic attention to detail with that macro in the early game, has allowed him to once again open up a second tier turret free 10 minutes.
Yeah, but they need to defend his tier 1 tower in the mid though. There is no Princess Frost on their side, as though you did die, so he has to make his way all the way back from base, which will allow Alpha 7 to finish off that tower. Nope, just one more hit. No, it looks like they will not be able to, but we might see Almine just go in, try to finish it off, but at the moment it's still going to stand here for the side of BKS. So we haven't really seen an aggressive play from Danny after that first rotation. And a kill on from the top, of course, but other than that, he's been pretty passive, just farming up as much as he can, trying to go for these 1 versus 1s and trying to go for Muster right now. Muster trying to fight back. Muster doing so much damage to Danny, but Danny has both buffs. Muster still hiding. Byron will be here to help him out, and that will be enough to finish off Muster, who was trying to push off the side waves. But top lane, that is going to be Benignus doing the same thing as well. They will bring down the second tier clash lane tower.
Yes, Muster going down there. They managed to pick up a second tier turret for themselves. So again, a little bit more an advancement on where they were in the first game. So game 2 played a little bit better in terms of the lane. They are definitely trading these turret objectives a lot better on the side of Alpha 7. It still gives them that economic curve in their favor. There's only 2 kills on the board, so still a lot of brawls to be desired on the side of both of these teams here, because they are stopped the kills, they are waiting for the right moment to strike. But currently looking on the side of BKS, if Benignis doesn't get the right angle into these team fights, we could see the team fights definitely going heavily in the favor of BKS, and Alpha 7 trying to get a push here onto a Tyrant, that Shadow Tyrant of the match, but McGinty with the crucial kill theft. It's not just Danny, it is a second factor currently on the side of BKS. Danny takes down Armani as well. That is a double kill for the Lady Sun. That is going to be huge for the activation of this late game hero right now.
Absolutely clutch steal there from the Zhang Fei. Oh, Danny taking a lot of damage, but he's holding his own at the moment, but he's dropping very low. Will he fall first? Yes, he will. The damage from WinRJ is starting to stack up. We're reaching the reaching the late game at the moment. Let's watch let's watch that beautiful play once again. That is just the ultimate from Zhang Fei, and that skill doesn't do a lot of damage. It just does a little bit of damage. It's mostly used for the knockback as well as the crowd control, but it just provided them enough damage to kill off the Tyrant, and that just gave BKS such a huge lead into this game.
Oh, huge. VKS really showing the amount of power they've been suppressing throughout the entire of this Season 1 Invitational. They are a different cut. But did we expect anything different from the Chuck BR 2023 champions? I don't think so. I think this was just a little bit of a false pretense for us on the English caster desk here, because you could probably know that Brazilian caster desk is going to be like, oh, BKS are just messing around. They show this all the time. It's a little bit of showboating on their side. But to come across physically as deflated after that first series with Alpha 7, to be this confident, that is Oscar winning, like, acting right there for BKS, because they are not deflated in this best of 5 right now.
Absolutely, you saw their reactions after the first game. They were elated, they were hyped, they were ready, they were pumped. And in this game, they are showing the same energy as well. I'm pretty sure after that steal, the players were probably standing up on their feet, which is probably not a good position to be in. But oh, not a good position to be in is WinRJ, as he gets cut towards the back lines from the Nickness as well as the Dong Huang. But Aomine will be the one to trade with his life as well. So for 2-for-2 trade-off, you do lose 2 cores on the side of BKS, but at least you manage to get the enemy's marksman as well. So not the end of the world. Pei is still the most farmed hero on the map. Lady Sun is starting to catch up, but the lead is still in the favor of BKS.
Yes, it could be a potential 2-0 already for BKS, which is not the side we was actually thinking of a 2-0 to come from this quick, but luckily for Alpha 7, they can still count their blessings. They have the higher ground turrets currently, so again, not completely backed against the crystal, but the rope is slowly cutting away for Alpha 7 on that backline. But again, a great effort so far from BKS. Currently double the kills up. Currently 3k ahead in gold. So that economic curve is definitely curving towards the side of BKS there. So Alpha 7's really got to do some tricky work in terms of how they're going to pick off some 1v1s or even try and proc some 1v1s against BKS.
It's hard though, because this is the late game stage where you just see 4 or 5 members stick together. Probably the only one that wouldn't be fully sticking together would be Miap or the Charlotte on the other side, as we do see Menguichi being the one to take the Tyrant again. He has made it a habit, right? He's been enjoying the steals, and he's even right now stealing from his teammates as well.
Do you reckon before he presses his skill, he twists his mustache, and that's what claimed that kill theft on the side of BKS? I want to see that cam go on. That's definitely what was played by in my mind when McGinty takes that crucial theft from the side of Alpha 7. But Selena looking like he's in trouble here. That Don Huang has actually been a quite underwhelming pick on the side of Alpha 7. We see Jing waiting in the back line, hoping that the other side, the other components of Alpha 7 can do some damage, but Miap playing right into Benignis, almost countering and saying, well, okay, so where's the Jing? The closest place she could be is in one of these bushes, and luckily for Niap, he guessed correctly.
Yeah, they don't want the same thing to happen again where the Jing and the Donghuang just cut towards the back, hit WinRJ first before they were able to react. So, once bitten, twice shy here from the side of VKS. They are dotting their I's and crossing their T's right now, making sure that they have everything they need to be able to end the game. At the moment, the Lady Sun has completed her Daybreaker, so that is pretty much nearly full item here for the Lady Sun. I'm not sure if she will go for the Sage's Sanctuary to have that second life. Probably safer to actually build that, but he might feel that it's not needed and she might just go for more damage.
Yeah, Alpha 7 looking pretty light in the jungle objectives here. They don't have a single one taken for themselves, thanks to the crucial theft of Beijinshi there on the side of VKS, putting them at a whole 5 jungle objectives right now, going into the 16th minute, and they have the Shadow Vanguard coming down in the Clash lane. There is a big push here for that higher ground turret on the Clash lane as well, so burn comes from the Zhou Yu. That takes down the first higher ground turret on the side of Alpha 7. They are now slowly starting to slip away in terms of the back support they have. Niap catching out. Benignus there dealing a lot of damage, but Benignus managed to get away at the moment. But can we see a close in on that distance thanks to the Donghuang coming through, but the suppression was answered perfectly there. They didn't lose Menginchi. They managed to take out the Donghuang. That is a 4v5 coming into the Crystal fight again. No higher ground turrets are gone. It is the last bastion, the last hope here for Alpha 7. VKS slowly getting wiped out. Oh, can Lady Sun do it? Oh my gosh, that goes down to WinRJ taking the crystal in game 2. VKS are hyped. I'm trying to